Hello everyone, my name is Sunny and today's pick a card reading is going to be a time frame reading. So I have, sorry my throat is terrible. I have six piles, I'm so sorry. Pile 1 is on the top, pile number 2 is next to it, pile number 3 is next to it and on the right, pile number 4, 5, and 6. So stop the video if you feel like you need more time to concentrate on the pile you're focusing on, or the piles if you have several questions, or it could be the same question for different answers, right? So I have 6 piles for you guys to choose. Think of a question that requires a time frame, and I will tell you with a brief sentence or so, and then I'll skip to the next pile and so on, just to give you kind of some details into it. So I will start with the first pile, everyone. So pile number 1. Think of the time frame of your question, and this is your response. You have the 5 of Wands reversed. So for you, pile number 1, place it down. For you, pile 1, this particular time frame you're speaking of is going to take some time. It's not going to be fast, so you figure out whatever slow speed you think of. I would say, if you had to ask me personally, I think it takes a few months, in my opinion. And especially since it relates to maybe having less conflict, less verbal conflict. Likely that's the reason why it's taking so longer, possibly because it's better to not have arguments or disagreements and try to get the nitty-gritty out first before you move on, or you're trying to kind of evade that. So the universe is trying to make you either avoid that confrontation of constant fighting and arguing and competition, or the universe is trying to make it work so that it's the most beneficial for you towards you in this situation. That's why it's going to take longer. So I hope that helps, pile 1. I will start with the next pile number 2. Pile number 2, I have the Page of Wands upright for you. So in this time frame you're thinking about, pile number 2, your plan of action or your answer, your response in a time frame is going to be fast. Within a few days to a few weeks, likely. That is still fast. Some people don't think a few weeks can be fast. I consider that the median, I think, because it's normal. I think of it like in a normal cycle. But I definitely think that you're likely venturing off to new opportunities, new lands, and you're looking afar for a brighter future. And I definitely think that this is a positive time frame. I think it's the expected time frame you want to hear. For most of you, I definitely think it's a fast time frame. But more or less, that's what you get, pile 2. It's going to be fast. It's going to be kind of quick. You're not going to be too much in your space about it, like in your mental space, but it's going to be beneficial towards you. I will start with the next pile. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, you have the 9 of Wands reversed. So for you, pile number 3, I definitely think that that messed up. Sorry. Maybe you're struggling to kind of work this too. It's because I'm struggling with you. I didn't struggle for the previous pile, but for you, pile 3, you have the 9 of Wands reversed. This is gonna take longer than expected. Whatever your time frame you're thinking about in your situation, your scenario, you're going to have to kind of work things through, maybe internally, or maybe it plays out differently in your mind. Lower your guard, lower those defenses. There's something about you just building up walls. It's like, put those walls down, and maybe those time frames. Maybe it's like, if this is a romance question, definitely think of how you can work on yourself first and then lower your guard down, or something around those lines. If it's like a career thing, I think that you aren't seeing the big picture. I think because you have so many, I think of all the wands upright, you have so many wands, so you build up a wall so high that you can't even see the obvious answers in front of you. If you lower these wands, you could probably lower your guard, and likely you'll find your answer. I'm giving you a time frame. This is going to be slow, and you might take some time to actually lower your guard. There must be reasons and very important lessons as to why this is going to be a slow and steady response. if that makes sense, right? So this result that you're looking for is going to take some time. So I hope that helps. Pile number 3, I will start with the pile 4. Pile 4, you have the 6 of Pentacles upright. Slow and steady wins the race, pile number 4. So you might have to put your efforts, but it's not like it's going to be a lot of work for you. I think it's kind of in your nature to be giving and stuff like that. Like, you just think of you giving your time and your money and your effort. So I think if this is a time frame, yes, it might take some time, but it's not unbelievable for you. I think you kind of foresee this. I think you kind of know the gist of the timeline, if I may say so, of pile number 4. You know what you are getting into, so you know the timeline is going to be slow and steady. It's like a slow rise, but you'll get there. So whatever result you're looking for, you will receive it and achieve it, but in the timely manner that you expect it to. I don't think it's going to be faster or later. So I hope that helped. It's like everything at its time and its purpose, right? Pile number 4. So I hope that helped. I will start with the next pile, pile number 5. Pile number 5, you have the 10 of Swords reversed. So for your pile number 5, your time frame is going to be a long time frame. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that you will be very stubborn, or the energies around you are very stubborn. They just don't, it's like walking on eggshells. I think likely you are in like a muddy puddle, and I want to say puddle, it's just a muddy kind of phase in your life where you're kind of being confused and just you can't see the forest for the trees. So it might take you some time to get your result. Likely has to do with being like hurt by others. People's words can get to you, and they kind of linger in your head, in your head. So their words kind of echo, and they kind of go in circles. And I feel that's why you're kind of going round and round and round, like cycles. I just feel like it's a cycle, wanting to end this cycle and wanting to start new. And it's going to take you some time to get there. It's not impossible, but it will take you some time, maybe a few weeks to a few months. Likely for me, it's more months, and I think you'll just have to break through these cycles and start new, because certain lessons need to be learned, right? So I hope that helped, pile number 5. Remember, only take what resonates. Likely you could feel like you were backstabbed or hurt, but remember, you can walk away whenever you want from these people, if it's a person, right? Or people, surroundings, anything that feels toxic to you, that makes you feel like you're burdensome and fatigued and tired and just wanting to collapse on the floor. You decide when to walk away, okay? But more or less that's the time frame. So for the last pile number, if I want a 6, right? You have the Page of Cups upright. For you, pile 6, I definitely think that you're the one that's going to be able to decipher how fast or how slow you want something to be achieved, if that makes sense, because you're in flow. So this is a sign, and the cups, I'm so sorry, is a sign that you have to go and flow with the rhythm. So I feel that you have to kind of go with the notions, and if you go with the notions, you'll get there. So you decide how fast and how slow, because that's how much creativity you're pouring into that cup, how much emotion you're putting into that cup, and showing the world and show it like, look, this is what I got. This is, you want to share that message, you want to share that thought, that emotion. Anything that's coming out of you is going to have to be, it has to kind of come from the heart. So whenever you decide to pour your heart in and out, you put your heart out, your rawness, not that it's fake, but you know, that authenticity, there you go. Because if you're stalling because you're scared of something, just remember, you decide how fast and how slow things progress in your life. So I definitely think that this is mutable energy, like strong mutable energy, where I'm like, this one's not a time frame that I'm like slow or fast. For me, this is, as you decide to pick up the pace, is how fast and how slow you'll go. Because I think the universe wants to point out that the time frame is in your hands. And I think that's always ideal, in my opinion, but you know, to each their own. So I hope that helped everyone. That's more or less like a time frame. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think I might do this again. I kind of want to get the feels, you know, how this kind of works, how I feel with this type of reading of time frames, because they're always interesting. So thank you all for listening. Have a lovely day, and thank you all. Subscribe, please, if you enjoyed my content. And I'll see you soon. So, bye-bye, everybody.